It's important to practice good hygiene, at least if you want to roll with my team. I'm about to get into some shit that I've seen. It's fool's breath that smells so bad and melt your ice cream. They say don't say nothing if you can't say nice things. I think that's all I remember. You guys know about Del the Funky Homo Sapien, though?
I love when you guys deliver great cold openings. I just feel it now.
Yeah, that was it.
Such a great episode. Let's go. No Vacancy is the self-storage podcast that pulls back the roll-up door on the industry's most outrageous stories, toughest challenges, and unexpected laughs. Hosted by the team at Access Self Storage, each episode brings together real operators, sharp marketers, and off-the-wall personalities to talk about what really goes on behind the gate code, from crazy tenant tales to hard-won lessons in customer service. It's raw, unfiltered, and a little irreverent, just like life in storage.
I'm all chrome all the time, baby. I'm a chrome guy.
Did you used to wear chrome cologne when you were in high school?
Oh, what's that?
Everybody was obsessed with that.
Never heard of it, actually.
No?
No.
I mean, the ladies loved it.
Never heard of chrome.
Didn't work for me, but the ladies did what I've been told. They loved it.
For some folks.
Yeah. Well, don't feel bad. I mean, nothing worked for me either in high school, whether it was chrome or aqua di Gio was the popular one in the whole of Philadelphia, especially the Northeast.
I just chalked it up to getting a bad batch.
Yeah, that's it. Of the chrome.
Of the chrome.
Genetics, the chrome, whatever. Need more snare.
Yeah. Gotta turn that treble up a little bit. I've got 2 sick children at home today.
Damn. How you feeling?
Much better, but that's because I kicked it down the road. Spread. Yesterday there were 3 sick children home with my wife, who also has been affected.
Dang.
So, yeah. But I'm empty. So the rest of them now have the GI issue.
Sucks. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Adam developed a bit of a whooping cough over the last couple of days. He just woke up hacking, but like no fever, energy level is unaffected, unfortunately, and little itchy throat hack. Sounds like he's trying to clear a hairball. I have been telling, and maybe because Adam's an only child or whatever, but I've been talking to him a lot lately about, realizing that I'm not a waiter. Not a waiter. I am not here to serve you only. Like, he'll be on his video game. He's like, Dad, can you give me something to drink? I'm like, no. No, I wouldn't know. Go do it yourself.
We've been getting a lot of that too. And I've been saying to them, well, you have legs. One of the dad responses.
Yeah.
But now when I ask for a favor, they're like, Dad, you got legs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do.
Yep. That's the double-edged sword of the situation.
I'm also your co-creator.
I also have kids. Yeah. Co-creator. I love that.
All right. Let's get into it.
I feel like the easiest thing, this is kind of a low-hanging fruit, but I don't think anybody's really paying attention to it, is the customer service training. I feel like the larger the industry gets and the more commoditized the industry is, with certain players owning their fair share of the industry, that the whole customer service part of self-storage is going away. So the easiest thing for us to do is to double down on that, to be the provider that cares and that has trained employees who are not only knowledgeable, but empowered to help the customer. Because I really think that most frontline employees of self-storage facilities, namely the big companies, are not empowered to escape their policies. They just don't have the ability. And that's by design. because
Yeah.
they want everything, streamlined and the same. There's an efficiency to that, I'm sure, but the training and the knowledge of how to handle a tough situation, I think really helps us in the long run of our length of stay and our customer reviews online, and it just helps everything. So that's the clearest path for me to continue to improve the growth of the company is the customer service, because the further away that everyone else gets from that, there's a lane opening.
Yeah. I think I was just going to say that I think the way that we do it has an advantage over the REITs, because what you're basically doing is putting your frontline workers in charge of their stores. Like, they own it. So they have the ability, and it's almost like their own business. So they take a lot more stock in that. They take a lot more pride in that, and reviews or anything else that come in are reflected upon what they do and what their staff does for that location. And when you have a streamlined approach, like a lot of the bigger guys do, you don't get that same buy-in for almost being an owner of your, quote unquote, owner of your facility.
Yeah. I think that streamlining and having strict guardrails, you can see how it makes sense when you have hundreds or thousands of properties. But, and that's not to say that we don't keep some guardrails intact, right? We have benchmarks for every measurement. So we review them weekly, in some cases monthly. And, it keeps everybody kind of in line and understanding, those, guardrails, like I said, but letting them know that it's not that rigid. You can have we trust you and your ability to explain why it was necessary to step outside of those guardrails from time to time. We trust you enough to make those decisions, and I think it pays off in droves for our company culture and the experience that we deliver for the customers. Definitely, you see this in other businesses too. I think what Chris is speaking to about just kind of customer service falling by the wayside and becoming a lesser concern, that's happening in so many experiences that we have as consumers. And, so just being really purposeful and conscious with the opposite approach and making sure that we're doubling down in our meetings and just reminding our managers that they are empowered and that they know the best decision to make, that they, when in doubt, use the fundamentals to guide your decision making. And sometimes it can be as simple as, this was the right thing to do. Where do you guys think outside of storage you've seen, like, what's the customer experience change over the last however many years that you think has gotten frustrating, that you're like, hey, I got to do it this way, but I don't prefer to?
I think for certain generations and certain people of a mindset, the grocery store is number one. The kiosks have come in everywhere. There's so many more lanes open for self-serve than you have one or two checkouts with an actual person, and the rest of them are self-serve. You know what I can't stand about that is the lanes that are closed altogether. Right? So you've got like 22 self-serve lanes, and you've got 2 with a cashier, but then there's 7 that are closed. And the 22 self-serve lanes have a line. Why can't we just open up the other 7?
Yeah.
Because it takes one person to oversee this 19 self-checkout lanes.
Right.
Instead of the 7 people to fill those other lanes. But I agree. It's so frustrating. And then you're like, I'm waiting in a 15-minute line to self-checkout.
To do it myself.
Yeah. So you said exactly what I was thinking. I mean, I guess I'm of that generation where the grocery store does irritate me. If I go into a convenience store, a Quick Check or a Wawa or whatever, and I'm buying a coffee and a soft pretzel, I don't even think twice. I have no problem scanning those 2 things, tap it. It feels like it enhances my experience because it lets me go quicker. Yeah. But at the grocery store, when I got $300 freaking cart full of groceries, I'm like, I'm not equipped for this. I'm not well trained enough to scan all these groceries and weigh things. No, thank you.
I think
help me out.
I don't think they've done a good job of training the customer on how to properly use those. Because I agree with you. And when I go to like Stop and Shop, if I try and scan like 6 cans of soup, right? And I'm just trying to get them all in. If I'm scanning one, then two, and I'm putting both of them down, they're like, wait, got to get this other guy to come over and scan this to make sure that you're not taking an extra. It's like a pain in the ass. Like it just doesn't do it well. And when you're, to Brian's point, when you have $300 in groceries that you're trying to get in and out of, it's supposed to be easy and quick, and it takes way longer for me to do that than for me to go to a person who knows what the hell they're doing.
Yeah. And if you forget your bags, they charge you for a bag now. Give me a free bag. I'm doing all the work myself. Just give me the bag. I forgot my bag. I got 1,000 of them in the closet. I really don't want your new bag.
Yeah.
But that is, again, I would take that as an opportunity. McCaffrey's, right? You guys, Brian, you have McCaffrey's in your area. Andrew, I'm not sure if you have McCaffrey's in your area, but it's a more of a regional, smaller grocery store. Doesn't have everything, doesn't have the biggest selection because it's a smaller footprint, and it may be a little pricier, but you are going to get customer served out the wazoo. And, it's a decent experience. I would say the same thing at Trader Joe's. Now, taking children to the Trader Joe's on a Sunday is, bringing your life in your own hands, and you can't find a parking spot, but their customer service is driving their growth.
Yeah. They don't have self-checkout lanes at all.
No.
And I honestly, I can't recall ever going into one of those and seeing a lane even closed. Maybe in the middle of the day, but like most of the time, every lane is staffed and ready to go. And I don't know what they do with the bells, but they got bells, and that's fun.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the bells either. You're right. They ring them sometimes, and
you're like, oh, hey, they got a system.
That's a really good example of a window that somebody is seeing and really making it work for them. Their products are good. It's all their own stuff, and they're growing. I mean, at the Amazon Fresh store that we've had in town for 2 or 3 years, they're closing.
Yeah.
Because nobody is really feeling I got to do all this myself.
So what I've heard was interesting about those stores, though, and I've only talked to maybe 1 or 2 people who told me they actually experienced it, but what didn't they have the model where there is no checkout? Like somehow with their cameras or whatever, they know what you took. What do you scan your Amazon account on the way in, and they're like, "Oh, we're just going to charge you for everything you took when you're on the way out." I've had a few people tell me they're like, it just feels weird. It feels like you're stealing because you're walking out without paying anything, and then they email you your receipt.
I think that would be easier because you're not needing to deal with the technology of checking out at all. It's just, I think that is just getting people used to the fact that you can walk into a store and take stuff.
Access self-storage. We get it. Moving sucks. Put it on a t-shirt. Moving sucks. We know. We can help. I promise we can help you. I told customers this all the time, and you can see it in their eyes sometimes, right? They'll walk into our store and they're just overwhelmed. They're coordinating this project. Sometimes it's with a mover. Sometimes they have to rent a truck. They got to pack. They have to label. They got to move. If you're doing it yourself, it extra sucks because, things are heavy and you're going to damage your furniture. And, that bed is never going to be the same again now that you've taken it apart and have to put it back together. Just remembering that our customers are going through something that's a pain. It's a pain in the butt right now to deal with, and just trying to reassure them that, hey, I'll make this part easy for you. We got you on this part. Here you go. The key is handled. I can get you a truck for a really good rate or free to move in. We've got a unit that's going to work for you. You tell me what you've got. I'll tell you what size you need, right? We become the expert. If they are looking for a mover, we can refer them to a reputable company in the area. We just become that solution-based interaction instead of, oh God, I talked to these guys and now I have more questions than answers. That's the tone that we need to set and that we do set, that set us apart. It's very different than, oh, you got $300 worth of groceries? Figure it out, guy. And I also hate, Andrew, when you're scanning out your own groceries. And like you mentioned, there's always this little delay when you're scanning multiples of the same item. They're like, oh, no, this must be a mistake. You didn't mean to scan your can of Campbell's twice. And you're like, I got 6 of these. Yes, I did. I meant to.
Yeah, man, I got a cat. I need like 37 cans of Friskies. Crazy.
Right, exactly.
It says 6 cans for $5. Yeah, I meant it.
Right. Just let me push a number 6, scan it once, and call it a day. Come on.
You know what is
But,
really great
yeah,
though is
anyway.
those like the I don't want to say guns, but the QR code shooters,
The pew-pew.
the pew-pews.
I haven't been able to engage with one of those because when I type in my phone number, it says that I'm not registered for the pew-pew.
You shouldn't have to register. You should just be able to walk in, grab one of those, scan everything, and then like scan whatever that is, and everything comes up.
But it wants to connect to my Price Plus card or whatever.
Which is fantastic. And if you have a
bypass it.
Price Plus card, good for you. Maybe we'll give you a little off your
Off
bill
the
at
top.
the end.
Yeah.
But it
Get that
shouldn't
free
just
turkey.
be for people who are Price Plus.
So you
Members.
pew-pew and
Pew-pew.
you immediately put it in the bag as you're walking around the store? Like you
your
bag
cart.
it up?
Well, yeah, I
but
guess
you
you
have
could
the
put it in a bag.
bags,
Yeah.
right? Because you have to bring in your bags.
Yeah.
So you scan the thing.
You pew-pew.
Pew-pew. Your bag is in the cart.
Yep.
So you put the scanned item in the bag. You're done shopping. You go to the register. You hand over your pew-pew. You do whatever you have to do with that thing, and you're off to the races. Is that correct?
I think that's generally how it works.
I
gotta
think,
write
I
a
think
letter.
you've got the order of operations a little backwards here. I mean, do you scan stuff before you shop? I don't understand what we're talking about.
No, you pick up
Isn't this like
pew-pew
a checkout?
As you go.
as you're walking in with your
No, it's a
cart.
pew-pew as you go in.
And then as you pick
Yeah.
up those 6 cans of soup, it's pew, pew, pew.
And you put them in the bag, which is in the cart.
I mean, that would be great, but I've never experienced a grocery shopping situation where that is the way it goes.
You have a Stop and Shop near you?
Yeah.
Go experience the pew-pew.
I like it. I only use it when I'm too lazy to pick up that 40 pack of bottled water underneath the cart, and I'm like, I can't do that again. Save my back. Use the pew-pew.
At the checkout.
At the checkout, yeah.
Sure,
The checkout
sure.
pew.
But
No,
they have,
this is a wireless pew-pew that you take around the store. Like you're scanning the
Wow.
inventory for them.
and then you get your kids
Interesting.
involved.
Interesting.
Well, I guess you could walk out of there with a bill way higher than you want it to be. Or you put them in charge, give them a little responsibility, walk around, pew-pew what we got here. Let's go.
And you're just going to end up with like
Remember-
800 pounds of Kit Kats. Let your kid do it.
But it's a fun day out.
Candy
Brian.
aisle.
Could you imagine? Holy shit.
I could,
Actually,
and I'm
could
so
imagine.
thankful that you're blaming the child rather than me with the real problem.
Go ahead. Go pew-pew.
Yeah.
But another example, when you have to talk to communication companies, like if you need to call Verizon and their AI voice agents, the agents that they use before you get to a real person make it so difficult. And they're a communications company. So it's kind of, you think they'd have that on point. But that's another technology that's creeping into our industry, has real benefits, but needs to be vetted and can't just like set it and forget it. And it seems like some of these companies are just setting it and forgetting it.
I agree. And everybody's looking for the next big thing, but forgetting the small old stuff. I read something recently where it was like, what if we just went back to the design of appliances from the 60s and 70s and they would work for 40 years again, where the new appliances, work for 7 to 10 years and that's it. Because people are forgetting the water cooler, right? People are forgetting to have a large amount of carts inside your buildings. These things are so easy to differentiate yourself. And that's what matters to the customer.
And we will be right back. Thinking about third-party management? Access Self-Storage has been leading the Northeast for over 50 years. We don't just manage buildings, we grow communities, increase performance, and help owners win in their local markets. Your property deserves a partner. not just a logo. Now back to the show.
Do you have a
hilarious.
drawer dedicated for their plates, bowls, and cups that they can easily access? Because we do, and it still doesn't prevent them from, making the request. And my immediate response is, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know your legs were broken."
Yeah, we do. We do.
Yeah.
Lazy ass
Yep.
kids.
Yeah, we've moved all the snacks down to his level. That was a good. I don't know. Maybe I got that from you, but I realized what a difference that should make. But I think he's still asking for like decision making. He's like, "Oh, I don't know what to have, so just give me whatever you think I should eat." Like,
Well,
I don't
that's
care.
nice.
Just get anything. But he
So
also
show
is used to being told no often because it's like, no, you already had enough sugar for the day, so steer clear of that.
Maybe there's brilliance in that question. Whatever you think, Dad. Whatever you're going to grab. Why don't you grab me one, too?
You show up with a plate of celery
me up.
sticks. It's like, what the fuck, Dad?
Yeah, some ants on a log.
You like your ants with peanut butter or cream cheese?
Peanut butter.
I grew up with a celery and cream cheese, no ants. Then I got a little intolerant of the lactose, so that can't happen anymore. Yeah. Womp womp.
Did you transition over to the peanut butter?
No, I just ditched celery completely. What do you mean? Like that. Yeah, peanut butter on a spoon. We bought our first, in Adam's lifetime, our first jar of fluff
Nice.
recently.
Yeah.
I guess he's been watching a YouTuber who's No, we're pacing ourselves. We're being pretty good, but I would be lying if I said I didn't stick a spoon in there once or twice. It's all right.
Put a little
It's not
Nutella
as
on that
exciting
bad
as
boy.
I kind of remember. Oh,
Have
yeah.
yourself a day.
You can put a Nutella on a shoe and I'll eat it. So I think just keeping the mindset, right, of just putting yourself in the customer's shoes, walk through their experience as if you've never been here before, make it easy for them.
Yeah. I mean, another one is some type of third-party truck affiliation. I'm not necessarily saying to get your own truck because you might not see a whole lot of return on that. Monetarily speaking, it might be a drain, but every truck rental place wants to be in your neighborhood. And to make it a one-stop shop where the customer doesn't have to go rent a truck at 8 o'clock in the morning and then come to you at 9 o'clock to fill out the rental agreement, just having it all in one place, it really helps. That could be the difference between 20 rentals and 30 rentals in a month.
There's other examples, just less so of systems, but more so, I guess, of good processes, just things that our employees who are really on the ball and make sure that they keep top of mind all the time. And, it may sound simple, but one of the things, it's one of our fundamentals too. We call it be a fanatic about response time. But for them, the habit really is just making sure that no voicemail, no email, no contact point from a customer goes left unanswered. Right? Like the benefit of having the people at the ready that we have, like Chris mentioned, is that we could provide that excellent service. And that means a real human getting back to you in a timely manner. So many large companies, you try to contact them for any type of support and you just feel like you're screaming into the void. Your issue has fallen into the abyss and will never be addressed again. And so it's such a simple opportunity and such a simple obligation, for a business to their customers to just get back to them, respond well, and take a genuine interest in a genuine accountability for yourself to get back to them and address their concern or their issue, whatever it is. So I think we do a great job of that overall. I think all of our employees know to treat a customer interaction with a sense of urgency. Sometimes, I think, as it says in our fundamental description, sometimes it's just getting back to them with, I'll get back to you with more information when I can have it, and not just leaving somebody hanging. I just think that's the difference between, world-class customer service a company like us with a high net promoter score and somebody who's, and the opposite of that.
Yeah. I like to treat it as a race. I mean, especially for a lead, like this is the finish line. Getting that person to rent is the finish line. And we have all the other touch points. If a lead comes in, they'll get a text message. They will get an email. They'll get all of that, but they'll also get a phone call from a real person in their town who knows what the weather is right now and, knows where all the places to help this person are and has a good sense of what it's going to take to get them in. And we just drill that down from day one, Check your email all the time, constantly. Be present in your office. Do your cleaning at certain times of day. You know when the traffic is coming in. We've done all the research about that. We have all the reports as to when all the traffic is coming in. So be smart about all the other stuff that you have to do and always be ready for customer service.
The internal note taking there matters a lot too. The communication among the team members, maybe we've all done this over the years. I probably have fallen into the trap too of relying heavily on sticky notes or something like that. But a number of years ago, we tried to develop a tool that was just like a daily communication log for our teams to use, just so that at shift change or even just from one day to the next day, you're kind of notating the happenings. You're notating your patrols on the property. You're making sure that if there's a lingering customer issue that didn't get resolved or completely put to bed on Monday, that whoever is at that desk Tuesday morning knows what's going on. And the phrase that I used to use with my team in person is, let's just make sure that we don't make each other look stupid. Customers hate nothing more than having to repeat themselves. It's so frustrating if you're experiencing a difficulty as a customer to have to keep telling that, oh, okay, well, I'll just transfer you. And then you got to tell your whole story again to the next guy. Oh my God, it's infuriating. So it's a hurdle that we can remove really easily by just being better at communicating with each other.
And I think that gets lost in so many industries, right? Like you call the doctor's office, you speak to like a person on the phone that's going to connect you to the nurse, and they take down all the, they ask what's going on, how can I help you? And then you get connected to the nurse in the actual office and they're like, all right, what's going on? How can I help you? And that they have a robust way to take notes as well. And it's the same thing when you call Verizon. Here's my issue. My internet's not working. Then they're like, oh, let me connect you to the tech team. And they ask for the same freaking thing all over again. But to have something so small and simple but can be so impactful from a customer standpoint. I mean, could you imagine calling Verizon and then, telling what the issue is, connect you to the technical team, and they're like, all right, we see you have, this, and this. Let's see where we can get started, rather than tell me the story again.
Yeah. Setting your teammates up for success is the best way to do it, because you're right. I mean, half the people are moving in for not the greatest reason in the world. How many times do you want to tell a stranger why you're moving in here? Nobody wants to keep rehashing, their difficulties. So if you, as the second touch point, can make that connection where your teammate lets you know in notes, hey, here's the situation here, and gives you a sense of how to deal with it before you're on the phone, it's a home run. It is a simple, easy home run. You have made that connection. That person's going to rent with you because they believe that you understand before they've even walked in that door. And they can put their stuff anywhere.
We'll be right back. At Access Self-Storage, we don't play the rate hike game. While some guys crank up prices after just a couple of months after moving in, we believe in fairness, transparency, and treating people the right way. No surprises, just honest storage from a family-owned company that actually gets it.
Now, back to the show.
So
Lee was driving them to school yesterday, and Caden was a little anxious going in, and then all of a sudden Bryce from the back is like, Mom, does it hurt to wear clothes when you have a lot of hair on your body? And she starts laughing, and she's like, I have no idea. And then he just goes, shaving the chest. And they got home from school yesterday, and the two of them are sitting in where we have their PS5 set up, and they're gaming with each other, just going, shaving the chest. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Do you think one day you're just going to find them in the restroom together, like covered in Barbasol cream?
Oh my God.
What, Dad? What?
Is this weird?
Yeah, I don't want my clothes.
Should we
to
be
hurt my
shaving each
hair.
other's chest?
Got to remain aerodynamic, Dad.
Slippery like a seal. So what was the question he asked again?
He said, does it hurt when you wear clothes and you have a lot of hair on your body?
What I think is interesting is the opportunity there to describe to him how it doesn't hurt when you have hair, but it certainly feels really weird to put clothes on after you've removed your hair.
Yes.
You
Like
know,
it's floating on top.
how that T-shirt feels touching your skin after you've removed
Just
the
a
barrier.
hydroplaning
It's really
shirt.
fucking weird.
Gonna need some cream for that area afterwards. It's like the Dickens.
This is a funny story that you have to promise me you won't put on this podcast. It's so weird. So when I was like in my 20s,
You have my word.
I had yeah. I had a friend who had a lake house, and we would go up there every summer for at least a week, sometimes a couple times for a week. And one time my sister-in-law and her boyfriend at the time came with, and we were both, lamenting our body hair. And somebody brought a bottle of Nair, and we decided that before we would jump in the lake, we were just a couple of bros. We would just, help each other out with the unreachable back portions, So the women come outside and see us just applying hair removal cream to each other's backs, and then just sitting there on the porch while it does its chemical burn of our follicles.
7 to 10 minutes, sure.
And then we just, yeah. See, he knows. This guy knows. And then we just jumped into the lake afterwards and probably killed a few species of fish, I would imagine.
So
A couple of bros nairing it out.
my Nair story. I mean, I have no problem with you putting this one.
You're way more secure than I am.
So, my wife and I are dating at the time, and her parents are having like a July 4th barbecue. And this was the first time that I was meeting most of the family. And they have a pool. And this was like, I guess almost 15 years ago. So they have a pool. It's going to be a barbecue and a whole thing. So I say, unfortunately, I got kind of a hairy back here. And, I'm meeting these people for the first time. Maybe they don't want to meet such an ogre, the first time.
Yeah.
Can you help me out? And I had never done anything like this before, never used the product. So she said, so you want me to nair your back? And I said, yeah, I think so. So we're in her parents' house like 2 hours before people start arriving in like the guest bathroom. And she's like applying this Nair to my back, and we're waiting the 7 to 10 minutes, and there's that smell, and it gets a little
very distinct smell.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You never
It's
really
a little-
forget that smell.
yeah, oh yeah, regret. It smells
I
like
love that the
regret.
three of us know that.
Shame.
smell.
Smells like shame.
Shame and regret. So So, and then, if you leave it on too long, it's getting a little warm. It's bubbling up more than it should. So we're in her parents' closed bathroom door because it's gross. And she's wiping my back and seeing, the results. And if you were outside, all you would hear is, "Oh, that looks good."
So smooth.
So, like,
Where do you want me to put all of this?
so we go out to the party, like my skin, like this pale Irish American guy, and my skin is not used to the chemical burn. So 3 hours after I burn my skin off, we're out in the sun, and it's like one of the worst sunburns I've ever gotten because all of my back is now exposed to the full sun where the hair was protecting me like some type of ape. And that was how I met her entire family, all slick and nared up in the back.